Hey everyone, so I'm sure you've heard the news about Amazon slashing affiliate commissions pretty much across the board. I don't really want to go into too much detail about exactly the areas that have been hit. I'm sure you've already heard the news, and there's already loads and loads of other videos kind of discussing that in more detail. What this video is about really is just to look at some alternatives with examples of my sites that I've just started. So it's actually kind of come at a time where personally I was moving away from Amazon anyway. I mean, over the last few years it's been pretty evident that they're kind of just, that they don't give a shit about their affiliates really. So it made sense to kind of move away from them because it wasn't going to get any better in the long run. So what I've got is two examples of like brand new affiliate sites, and they're also not an expired domains or anything like that. So I'll just be totally open with them and show you guys. So they kind of came off the back of, obviously, with us being stuck in lockdown. Me and my girlfriend were talking and saying, you know, we're looking on Google Trends and things like that. What are people going to be doing, and what's the sort of stuff that they're going to be buying? So you can kind of see our thought process with these two sites. The first one is much more built out than the second one. So the first one is in a niche that I think is, you know, that's going to do really well. So that's had a lot more attention, both from me personally writing the content, and my girlfriend's done all the design. So yeah, so we'll check those both out. And what I also wanted to say on the point of, you know, I completely empathise with people who only have affiliate sites that are monetized with Amazon, but you know, it just goes to show that you just can't rely on one source of income when you're a sole trader or a contractor, or however you want to put it, or a freelancer, or just in business. You know, it's like running an agency and just having one client. So, you know, like in any business, it's always good to have your income streams as varied as possible. And I totally understand that that's not what you want to be hearing if you've been hit quite hard by these commission changes, but it's certainly something to consider moving forward. And for anyone watching who's just starting out, I think you're in a better position than most, because you can kind of just focus on getting the consistent traffic to your sites first, and then you kind of have this breathing room to look at private affiliate programs. You might even want to be focusing on Amazon in the future, but this is just kind of looking at the thought process from someone like me who's been there for a little bit longer than you might have starting off. So yeah, so just advice for beginners if you are just starting off in affiliate marketing. I can understand why seeing what's happened recently might kind of make you worry a little bit, but yeah, I think you're in a good position just to kind of focus on getting the traffic over the coming months, and then, you know, there's always going to be an affiliate program out there for you anyway, based on the types of products that you sell, unless it's massively obscure. I mean, obviously do your research beforehand anyway. So yeah, you can see my thought processes going into these two sites, and hopefully it'll be a bit of inspiration for anyone who's kind of stuck and looking for where to go. Okay, so the first site, and I can't look at it without laughing, it's an adultstoyguide.com. It's a totally fresh domain, no guesses on what the content is about. So there's two reasons that I started this site. So the first one obviously came from that initial conversation of what are people going to be buying, what a bored couple is going to be buying when they're stuck at home. And then also, I think I've spoke about in my previous videos about kind of building that landing page with stats and survey data and things like that. So I've been wanting to test one out on a brand new affiliate site for ages, because I've wanted to do this site as a case study anyway, to show building links from scratch. And you know, like I said, it's not usually something that I would do with these brand new sites from scratch, but I thought if I can do a couple whilst I'm starting up this YouTube channel, then it's motivation for myself, both to kind of do videos revisiting the sites, and then also, you know, it might be helpful for you guys to see my thought process on growing out content and links, and how those links are acquired, you know, from a blend of guest posts and hopefully, you know, like this type of survey data and stuff like that. So the thought process for breaking down the categories of the site kind of come from how I approach all my affiliate sites. So content is split between these bigger buyer's guides, pillar posts, whatever you want to call them, like best, whatever, and you can go on the site and see the types of content that we're talking about anyway in terms of the larger buyer's guides, the FAQ type things. So you know, there's endless content around the adult niche, and then also just individual reviews. So this ties into the affiliate program that we've gone for, which is Lovehoney. So they're totally international. They pay up to 19% commission, and it's a 30-day cookie, so it's already miles better than Amazon anyway. And they're just a proper reputable site. You know, I'm sure most people will have heard of them. They're very similar to sites like Ann Summers and whatever else. So in terms of growing this site from where it is now, so I'm just flicking through it. So as you can see, if you're having a look through it, we've got the industry stats page, so you can see how that data is put together. You know, my girlfriend's done a really good job of, you know, really clean design on the site, and it just looks really nice. But obviously we're targeting stats related to the industry. So I pulled these stats from like press releases and Statista. Those are the two main places anyway. And then just Googling, you know, like say we come down here, sex trafficking and illegal activity statistics, that just made up part of the data. So I just Googled that and found some interesting stats on that, and you can flick through and see how those stats are put together. And then the goal there is to use this landing page as its own authority, as like, you know, other sites or journals or whatever are looking for industry stats and things like that, so they can hopefully end up going on this page. And then as you can see at the bottom with the conclusion, I put some titled anchor text there, so I've gone really blatant with it, which I think is, you know, it's much safer than kind of shooting external links to those pages with similar anchor text. And also in terms of building links to these types of pages, it's a very, very natural page to have a total variety of links. So I think that's also safer than going directly to your money pages, whatever you want to call them. Obviously we build links to those as well, but I just like that very natural approach. And I think building up that kind of stats data landing page is going to work much better for you in the long run, because as that page starts to grow, your site will naturally grow in authority because it's just bound to get links anyway. So in terms of the content, I've written it all myself. Like I said, I've wanted to spend more time on this site personally. Like my girlfriend's put a lot of time in doing the design. She's done a really good job, and I wanted to kind of give the site the attention to detail that it needed in terms of the content and the research. So I mean, I'm going to do a totally different video, like a singular video on this site in particular as it grows, just because I'm so personally invested in it. It's not a site that I've just kind of bought off someone or outsourced the content to. So yeah, it's literally it's only been live for a couple of weeks. In terms of link building, all I've done is I've registered it as a business and shot some citations that I bought from Fat Joe. It was just a package of 25 citations. You know, the links don't really do much for anything, but it's just a trust signal. I think a very natural bunch of links to get in for any new business starting. Just so happens that this is an affiliate site. So yeah, it'd be good to track progress on that. You know, hopefully the types of things that I'm talking about on here, the design, the layout, the way that we use personas and different authors, and just the subject of the content. You know, look, being stuck in a lockdown, it was inevitable that it was going to start a new couple of sites. It's just hilarious that this was one of them. So yeah, you know, follow along with the growth of this site. And then obviously the plan with this site is to, I think I'll stick with Lovehoney at least for the short term, and then, you know, with any affiliate site, get a Zoic ads on there, and then hopefully jump to Mediavine and more personalised ads. So yeah, keep your eye out on that one. I think it was just a nice first one to show because we have this industry stats page. You know, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I think it's just nice for people to see how you don't have to pay for the data. You can just put something like that together for yourself and grow the individual authority of the page and use the internal links, and you have full control of where those internal links go, and then where that authority flows from that page that you're naturally getting the links into there. Alright, cool. So site 2 is Vintage Home Guide. This one we've done a lot less on compared to Adults Toy Guide. Vintage Home Guide is another one, my girlfriend's design, another really clean design. We've gone for like more of a blogger template, very, very clean, neutral, you know, straight away just from flicking through it. It's very clean. It's got like that kind of Pinterest feel to it. And all we've really done there is stick to more FAQ content again. So in terms of content for the site, this one was all outsourced. It was done pretty cheap just because I wanted to get the content up there. So if you're flicking through it, you'll notice the content isn't amazing. It's certainly nowhere near as in-depth as the one on the first site that we went through, and as well the level of content is much more kind of FAQ focused. So you know, how to distress furniture, what is mid-century modern furniture. We're trying to kind of target keywords around that wider vintage home decor, interior design sphere of keywords. But yeah, this one certainly hasn't had as much attention as the other one anyway. So in terms of affiliates on this one, it's going to be the Etsy affiliate program. Again, they're totally international, so links are tracked across different international versions of the site, which was, you know, that was the main thing. I think ultimately we're going to want to be targeting the US anyway, just because it's a bigger area, but obviously you're going to get drips and drabs UK, Canada, whatever traffic, so can't exclude those areas, but you know, the US is the main focus. So the Etsy program, it's 5% commission across the board, and they've got a 30-day cookie as well. So what I like about Etsy is it's obviously a massive site, but I would imagine that the average order value is really high. I think people landing on the site know that they're going to get something bespoke, or they're willing to pay that little bit more because they know that it's coming from like an independent seller. I just like that idea as well of you know, you're supporting a small business anytime that you're buying from here. Well, I'm sure you are most of the time anyway. So it's just two quick examples of how you can go after niches that don't rely on Amazon. You know, there's, for everyone that's hit by Amazon, there's thousands of private affiliate programs, and you know, networks like Affiliate Window, you can just sign up and skim through there. There's, you know, you're bound to find something related to the niche that you're targeting, and if you don't, you can just directly approach stores anyway. A lot of the times they have their own affiliate programs, and even if they don't, you know, I've spoken to stores in the past where it's a very, very specific product, but I want to move away from Amazon, and then they've set up their own affiliate program off the back of it. It's win-win for both of us then, especially now because obviously Amazon are cutting commissions across the board anyway. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions about those two sites, just drop me a message. And yeah, like I said, especially on the first site, we can return to that and I'll do a whole new video, growth video, and how I'm kind of doing an ongoing case study on that one as well. So yeah, speak to you all soon guys, cheers.